And like I said, there's no such thing as a one size fits all. Otherwise, this conversation would have been long gone. I would have said, hey, to American Express and Bank of America. The way I like to go about things, if everything checks out, it's like this. I do Discover first, and then I do American Express. I remove the inquiries. I do Citi, and then I do Chase. I remove the inquiries. I do Wells Fargo, and then I do Fidelity. I'm sorry, the other way around. I do Fidelity, and then I do Wells Fargo. After that, I do Bank of America, and I'll do US Bank. After that, I would, and these are all pulling from Experian, of course, if you're in California. If you're in Florida, same thing. They pull from Experian. If you're in Louisiana, they pull from TransUnion.
Weird.
They pull from TransUnion. If you're in fucking Ohio, they'll pull from Equifax, or sometimes or Experian. Like,
and you it seems like you mostly just focus on Experian banks, and then because you can remove the inquiry so fast, right? That's it.
Not just that, but Experian is the biggest bureau.
Right, that makes sense.
They don't promote themselves as a biggest bureau, but they are by far.
But they win, yeah.
They're the most used bureau.
And then do you do credit unions after that, or are you done after that?
I'm not done yet. We've already done American Express, Bank of America, Chase, Citi, Discover. We did US Bank. We did Wells Fargo. So notice I'm not touching, TransUnion yet. I'm still doing so. Once I'm done with my commercial banks, the Apple Card, and then I'll do Barclays. Once I'm done with Barclays and the Apple Card, I practically hit all the banks. Notice how I'm not doing Capital One. I hate Capital One. They'll probably give. I have a decent credit score, 770. I have a shit ton of accounts, bro. I probably have like 65 now. And these fuckers only gave me 3,000. So yeah, I mean, after that, I transitioned to the credit unions. Well, actually, no, not credit unions. I go to online banks. You got SoFi. The reason why I personally don't like online banks, Robert, is because there's no underwriter, bro. You can't get them to revalue the application once it gets declined. End of story. With credit unions, commercial banks, national banks, industrial banks, there's an underwriter that you can call and appeal, to their decision. So you got Noble, you got Ally Bank, list of online banks.
Just all those guys, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Chase, I wouldn't consider. They're online, but this is not what I was looking for.
Right.
Ally Bank is an online bank. SoFi, Radius, Synchrony Bank, FMBO. Oh, I love it. Oh, I forgot about FMBO. Okay, so where did we leave? Where did we leave off?
You got Barclay, and then you went into online banks.
Okay,
or so Apple Card, and before that was Bank of America.
Okay, Apple Card, and then Barclay. After, and actually, let me take a step back here. So Scratch, Apple, and
Barclay.
Are
you doing inquiry removals in between each two cards?
Yeah.
Two cards?
Two. It depends. If they have a credit score over 780, I'll do 3. If they have a credit score less than a 740, I'll do 2.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because bro, these approvals, they stack up. If you're like trying to speed things up and you're like leaving 10 grand, 20 grand per customer on the table in a year, bro, that's like $100,000. That's like 50 grand to your pocket. That could have paid for your car. That could have paid for your mortgage. So I don't leave anything on the table. But anyways, so Scratch, Barclay, and Apple Card. So I like to do SoFi and then FMBO.
Okay.
The Finbo.
Yeah. SoFi and then FMBO, First National Bank of Omaha. That's actually where Warren Buffett lives in Omaha, Nebraska. And then from there, I transitioned to the Apple Card first, and then Barclay. And then from there, I go to the credit unions. And if they're in California, I do the same research list of banks in California.
Like DCU or Alliance.
DCU, Logix, PenFed, Navy. But let me give you another, golden nugget. I'm sorry, the other way around. Navy Federal and then PenFed. And then another thing I like to do is I like to charge customers for a membership with Navy Federal.
Navy Federal, then PenFed. Do you like any other credit unions that are
DCU?
Yeah, DCU. before I forget this,
He said Logix. He said Logic, right? Logic.
yeah, but I don't use Logix for personal. I use them for business. And I was
Oh,
actually going to share with you something, and I'm sharing this with you before I forget. There's a list of banks for auto lending on a business side. So if you ever have
Cool.
a customer that says, "Hey, how can I get?" Because not any bank will finance business vehicles. I'm sorry, vehicles on the business, on your business credit. I'm gonna give you the list of banks, bro, that will finance even with like decent credit. Oh, and just so you know, in order for you to apply for a Fidelity credit card, you need to have an account with Fidelity. Just open up a brokerage account. You don't need to deposit anything, but you need to have an account. So just make sure to make a note of that.
Open an
Um,
account.
Open up a brokerage account with Fidelity.
Do you have like a shitload of bank accounts? Or is that pretty much what you do with these banks to build a relationship? You just got to open an account with them and let some money chill in there.
Yeah, actually. Oh, look, I know Logic is one of them.
Nothing. I'm just making a list of how we do it. So you do nationwide banks, big ass banks, then online banks, then credit unions,
Nationwide,
then
yeah, nationwide banks are also known as commercial banks. Commercial banks are banks that lend in all 50 states. American Express, Bank of America, Chase are look, these are the commercial banks, bro. Whenever you hear me say commercial banks, go
Right.
here, hover over credit cards by bank. These are all commercial banks. Also known
yeah.
as
So you start with commercial banks. You do 2 banks at a time, and then you remove inquiries. Then you hit online banks. Then you hit credit unions. Then you get people car loans, pretty much. Right? Is that kind of how you do it? That's pretty fire. Cool.
okay.
Yeah.
So the first bank is Key Bank, US Bank, Chase, Navy, Federal, and the other one is Logix. So anytime you have a customer, oh well, wait a minute, no. That's for okay. Keep that those banks that I just gave you guys, they're good for business loans. The banks that I'm gonna give you are good for business auto lending. That's Lightstream, Velocity, Credit Union, Trulient, Federal Credit Union. Trulient is Truliant, Logix banking. That's it. So those are the ones for those are the best banks for business auto lending. So if you ever have a customer that says, "Hey, how can I finance like a business car because I want a business deduction and my CPA is telling me that I need to have the loan under my business." You don't want the customer throwing a curveball and you not knowing what to say. So those are 4 best banks that you can go to, and they're easy to give you fucking an approval on a business loan for a car, a business auto loan.